my beautiful butterflies, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Beverly and it is lovely to see you today. Today we're going to be talking about what it's like to be an empath, what things in life can be a bit harder when you're an empath, and how to deal with that. So the first thing to say is being an empath is kind of like being an emotional sponge. All my life I've been told I am way too kind, way too soft-hearted, I need to toughen up, life is hard, all these sorts of things. When I'm around people, I tend to absorb their emotions. So if someone was angry, I would feel that anger as if somebody was like hitting me with it. I could often feel their emotion, and I thought that was just how people were. Like, I couldn't just see somebody was upset. If somebody was sad, I didn't just see they were crying. I felt like I was crying. And people just said it was part of being soft-hearted and gentle and toughen up and everything will be okay. But in actual fact, the minute I learned about what being an empath is and what it means and how to protect myself, everything changed. My mental health improved. I got better at understanding how to help people who were struggling with their emotions and how to help myself. So it's really important, if you feel like any of those things that I've just said really resonate with you, to look into it, just really look into it. But today we're talking about some of the things that I find difficult in day-to-day everyday life, things that I find difficult in everyday life, and yeah, how I deal with it and how do I protect myself. So the first thing that's really difficult is TV shows. If I'm watching something like American Idol, if I'm watching like a sad movie, especially something with a dog, if there's a dog in a film, I immediately think, is the dog gonna die? Because if the dog's gonna die, I cannot watch this movie. And then we have things like makeover shows. Those sorts of shows where you're seeing somebody's progression and then at the end there's the big reveal and there's a lot of emotion shown. Those sorts of things are so hard. There were times when because I love American Idol, it's one of my favourite shows, but when it's on and somebody's got a real tear-jerky kind of story, or they're in the final and I'm watching them perform for the last time and their family's there and they're interviewing everyone and it's beautiful, I will usually be lying in bed crying. I'll be crying, tears running down my face, but if you talk to me, I'm actually not crying. It's really strange. I'll be watching these programs, seeing people crying, and I'm not crying. It's just that I can feel the emotions of the people in the audience, or the people who've just had their house redone, or the person who's just won this show, or whatever it is. I can feel it. It hits you like a wave and I end up crying. Or sometimes I can be laughing. If somebody's like doing mental laughter, I will start laughing even if I'm not feeling the laughter, I'm not feeling that emotion. It like overtakes me. It's really weird. And my husband used to always be like, what are you crying for? Why are you crying? Are you all right? Like checking on me. Now he just looks at me and goes, because he knows that it's just that I'm watching something on my iPad. It's like right in front of my face. I'm lying in bed. I'm tired. I'm probably in pain because I have chronic illnesses. And I can't hold it back. It's just like a dam hitting me with emotion and I can't hold it back. And it used to be something that I either avoided things like that, or I wouldn't watch them with anybody else. I'd just watch them on my own because I didn't want people judging me or making fun of me, like, oh, you're crying at American Idol. Oh. But I didn't want any of that. I just wanted people to understand, and I wanted to understand. I wanted to know how to deal with it and how to sort it out, and it was just difficult. The next thing is crowded places. If I go, like, I will go maybe once a year to my best friend, Louise, who lives down in London, and we'll go down there and I will stay with her, and we will go out in London, like to a play. Usually we usually get together for plays because we're musical freaks, but we'll go and watch a play or something like that. And then when it comes down to it, when I'm walking through the streets or I'm on the bus, it's like as people pass me, I can feel what they're feeling, and it's tiring. And it's kind of that sensory overload from being around loads of people, but also feeling their emotions and having people around me. It's a lot. So you have to be really careful in those sorts of places. And the last thing that I find really difficult is watching the news and being on social media, especially Twitter. Twitter is, it's a love-hate relationship. I love it because of dog pictures and GIFs, and being able to chat to my being able to chat to my fellow bloggers and YouTubers and chronic illness warriors, and just kind of make friendships and talk to people. I love that about Twitter. But what I hate is that you can just be commenting on somebody and suddenly somebody that you don't know and had nothing to do with what you were talking about jumps in with hate or some random thing. It's just, oh. And then if I watch the news, first of all, my anxiety will go through the roof, because I'll think any moment there's going to be the end of the world, or that person got shot, or that person got stabbed, or there's horrible people in the world. And it's just, it's a lot. My anxiety goes up, my empath goes up, and they tag team me, and it's not fun. People on social media, people out in the wild, humans of all kinds, can have negative consequences for us empaths without even realising it, without even meaning to. It can be your next door neighbour who comes to you for advice about their love life, but they continuously go back to that guy who treats them like rubbish. And they don't realise it, but they're unloading all their emotional baggage onto you. And if you're not careful, it can really bring you down. So it's important to really take care of yourself if you're an empath. So what are things that actually can help? So grounding and protecting is so important to do every single day if you are an empath. Grounding you can do in your garden. I quite often, if the weather's nice, will just go and sit in the garden. We have like a garden wall, and I will sit on the wall with my feet on the grass and just close my eyes and listen to silence, because we live in quite we live in a small town, but it's quite a rural kind of area, so there's not a lot of noise, and I can hear birds. And we have a massive lake, well, not massive, it's like a big pond right outside our front door, and we're so lucky to have that. And you can hear everything, so you just close your eyes and just be in the moment and let all that energy go down to the earth. It's really important. Science has proven that we store up a lot of electricity in our bodies because we're around electricity a lot, and just naturally we do that. And then going barefoot in nature, we can release that extra energy. The problem is a lot of shoes now have plastic soles, and so that energy, that electricity isn't grounded very often. So even if you don't believe in empathy and psychicness, I don't know what that word is, if you don't believe in those things, that is fine. But if you just want to think of it as electricity or energy, we need to ground. So just doing that. There's also an app that I absolutely love, not sponsored, but they have been very kind to gift me a year's worth of their membership this year, which I couldn't believe, but I'm constantly just singing out their praises, because their meditations are incredible, and they have hundreds of meditations for grounding, absolutely hundreds and millions. So I will leave a link to that app down below. Again, not sponsored, but yeah, it's an amazing app. Protecting yourself is another step. Grounding is one, releasing all that negative energy, anything that's built up during the day, just releasing any negative energy or anything down into the earth. You can do it sat in your living room, you can do it in your bedroom, you can do it anywhere, on the bus, wherever you feel like. Just imagine roots coming out of the bottom of your feet and going down to the centre of the earth, and just breathe out slowly all that energy, and just imagine it all draining down into the centre of the earth. It just feels so good. It really does. I love it. And then protection is really important. What I was taught by my teacher, and I'll leave a link to her down below as well. I hope I remember to leave all these links. But she says to imagine a ball of protection all around you made of golden light, and then fill it with pink, because negativity hates the colour pink. And then I always sprinkle it. I imagine like sprinkles of starlight and fairy dust, making it twinkle and sparkle all through the day. I always imagine myself being like Glinda from Wizard of Oz. You know, when she floated down in the bubble, it was just, oh, I love her. But I love that idea of being in a bubble that moves with me and keeps me completely protected. Do remember though to make sure the bubble goes over your head and underneath your feet, completely encloses you in it. Nothing's going to get past. I also remember there's quite a few witches on TV shows and films where they'll like and make this like dome so nothing can get them. I think Willow did it in Buffy the Vampire Slayer actually. They were being attacked and she made this like bubble around them. So if that is a good way to imagine it, go for it. Whatever works, do it. Another really important thing is to define and set boundaries. So if you have somebody in your family who is very toxic, and I have a family member who's very close to me who is like this, who's been like this my whole life, who treats you badly, who makes you feel less, who upsets you on a regular basis, you don't have to say anything to that person, but in yourself be like, no, I'm not letting you do this anymore. Set that boundary. You can cut that person out of your life if you want. All I've done myself is not contact that person as often, and I've found because of that they're not in my life as much, which makes me sad, but also I've just been happier ever since. And sometimes you've just got to take care of yourself, you know, you've got to take care of your mental health, and sometimes just creating a boundary and saying, you know what, I'm worth setting this up. I'm worth more than the way you are treating me, and I'm not going to let you do it anymore. And you don't have to say anything, just energetically they will get that message. You don't have to say it to them, because I've not said it to this person, but they seem to have got the message, and it's good. Things are better than they were, so I'm incredibly grateful. To do this at work and home is incredibly important. There's no like, oh, I have all my boundaries with people who matter at home, and then I go to work and somebody bullies me all day, or a boss treats me badly all day. Whatever the situation is, you are worth so much more than that person is treating you like. And people can only treat you the way you allow them to treat you. So just bear those things in mind. Protect yourself. Your mental health and your emotional health will thank you, and you'll thank yourself later. Crystals. I know I've done lots of videos about crystals. I have a playlist for all my spirituality content, so if you're interested in that side of my videos, I will leave a link down below. Just check, everything will be down below. So crystals are really important. Things like black tourmaline, black kyanite, basically anything dark coloured will do. Black kyanite is a really great stone for this. It's like known as a sword for cutting cords. It releases negative toxic energy, and it's just amazing. You can use it during meditation, you can buy it as jewellery. I have like a little necklace that I used to wear all the time, and I have little tumblestones, and I will pop a different tumblestone into the necklace if I need it for a particular day. Definitely check out Etsy. I love buying from Etsy because it's people's hard work, small businesses, and I love just, you know, small business is important to foster and help people out, so go and check them out. The only thing to remember with these sorts of stones though is that you have to cleanse them very often. That's using sage or some kind of smoke, and you just basically hold the sage underneath and run the crystal through the smoke, and by doing that you are kind of cleaning the sponge. I think of those crystals as being a sponge, and they, like with water, they get kind of full up and then they can't take any more water. Then it's time to cleanse it, so usually like once a week or something like that, because they collect all the negative energy and they won't work as well if you don't cleanse them. And the last thing is to clear and protect your home. Your home is your sanctuary. It's where you come to be quiet, to get away from all that energy, all the madness. Lighting incense, burning sage, they will work really well to just clear out your space, clear out any negative energy. It's also great to put black tourmaline outside any entrances to your home. These will stop any negativity coming into your home. And also you can put little bowls with sea salt in. Sea salt is a purifier. I know this from being, when I was a nurse before I got sick, you would use salt water to clean wounds, saline. So it's a cleanser. It cleanses the palate, as it were. And if you get some sea salt in a little bowl in your home by your sacred space, it will keep any negative energy there. But remember, again, to sage that and to change out that sea salt very often. And when you get rid of the salt, just bury it in the earth in your back garden or something, because again, you want that negative energy to go down into the earth. I really hope this video helps you to understand a little bit more if you are an empath and you didn't know. I hope you got a lot out of this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit that little subscribe button, ring that little bell, so you always know when I upload. I'm usually here Mondays and Fridays, health permitting. I hope that you all enjoyed this video, that you'll join the tribe. I have a Discord now so that we can chat about things. All the information is down below, my social media, all the things. I hope you have a really lovely weekend coming up with lots of fun. I hope the sun stays out for you if you've been at work all week. And I hope you're having a really wonderful day. I hope to see you next time. Bye.